Hi, everyone. I'm very happy to be here, and thanks, Susan, for the fun introduction. I usually do not speak about my languages. I speak about AI. I'm also a telecommunications engineer. I work at Deutsche Telekom, and I build AI for Deutsche Telekom. And this is what I'm talking about. So we've heard it, we've seen it. AI is everywhere. It's in consumer products, in our cars, in our phones, in our watches, in Netflix, Google, everywhere. And believe it or not, AI has also gone magenta. So we do a lot of AI at Telecom, and my mission is to make the world know about it, let's say. So we use it, for example, to support our fiber-to-the-home rollout. To plan that, we need to scan the streets. Okay, we need to know where to dig and to put the fiber. So we send out cars out there to make pictures and videos of the streets, and we need to know which objects we have there. And we also use it to anonymize faces of the people and car plates. So we are a GDPR conform. So we do it the right way. We also use it in customer care chatbots. This is something you will see in almost every company. So chatbots answering also questions about invoices and technical problems. And we also use it, for example, again for operations to support our all-IP migration. So the case here is when we build a new network architecture, and right now we have the all-IP architecture, we have to switch over all the lines to this new architecture. And to be able to do that, we need to know if the routers that people have at home can support this new technology. And generally, we don't know that because people can buy any router. They don't need to buy the telecom router, but we still need to know if the router they have at home is able to do all IP. So before we had to call the customers or even go to their homes to figure that out, and you can imagine the efforts and the money. So we built an AI, a machine learning system to be able to detect and identify if the router at the customer's home is able to support the technology. Now, how many of you knew about these use cases? Or how many of you knew that Telecom is doing something with AI? Please raise your hands. One hand, I see. Okay, so that's more than I expected. And for me, this is a huge problem. And this is a problem not only for Telecom, but for all German companies. This is something very typical German. It's an engineering country. We do a lot of cool stuff, but nobody knows about it. And why? Because nobody talks about it. So this is something we need to change. We definitely need to change. And it has negative effects on the outside because our customers still think of us as a traditional company, a boring company, not doing any innovation and not being cool at all. So that's the first aspect. But the second one that frustrates me even more as an expert in the corporate IT is that even internally we have that image. So many of us, the employees of Telecom, think we don't do any innovative stuff. We're just boring and traditional and conservative. So this is why I go out there and shout to change that mindset. So when we started doing these activities and talking with people internally, we realized that actually way more people are doing something with AI, are building AI for the company that we knew about. And we are an IT company, okay? So we have software engineers and we have IT experts everywhere. So even in the finance department, in the HR department, compliance department, really everywhere we have experts. So obviously they started, all of them, doing stuff, building chatbots, building small solutions, doing a lot of analytics, machine learning for fraud detection to support decision making. But we didn't know that each other exists. This was the moment we said, okay, enough, we have to do something about it. And with we, I really mean the employees. So the experts on the bottom, let's say, doing the job. So this is why we decided to create a bottom-up community. It's the AI community. So it was not the idea of a manager or of the CEO, but it was just idea of experts. Guys, let's get together, exchange what we are doing, talk about our projects, and see if we can build a movement to change this mindset that we have internally. So we started that 2 years ago. Last May, we celebrated our second anniversary. And by the time we have more than 1,500 followers, so within Deutsche Telekom, this is an internal initiative. It's the second biggest community within Deutsche Telekom. We have over 180 documents. We have created many blogs. We are organizing events. We even have a Twitter account. And so it's really growing fast compared with others. And a couple of examples of initiatives we do. We have a bi-weekly exchange call where the experts can present their use cases, and then we have exchange about it. And this is international, by the way, so not only in Germany. We also have experts from other countries. We organize bar camps and hacks for internal colleagues, but also hacks with externals, let's say. We have the AI roadshows. I will come to it later, and the AI help desk also later. And AI at School is an initiative to educate also kids in AI and robotics and try to share our knowledge also with the society. This was one of the biggest events we started or we did last year. So it was an AI campus week where we invited all AI experts to get together for 1 week for a design sprint. And we gathered challenges before that. So we worked on 6 challenges really from the idea to the prototype within that week. And we presented the results. And half of these use cases are already live. And the rest is still in development. This is just a picture of an AI for Kids workshop that we had in Berlin in January. And the roadshows. So the goal with this is to go to the locations and explain. So also we have experts, but not everybody is expert in AI. So we explain what is AI, what is machine learning, what are the methodologies used there, which use cases we have. So just to make sure everybody is included in this topic and knows what's going on. And obviously we also create new use cases through that and share a lot of knowledge. So that was the fun part. Now, if we get a little bit more serious, this community that actually started just as a movement is really helping to scale AI at Deutsche Telekom. So if we look at it from the life cycle of an AI use case, so on the left side, from the moment someone thinks, oh, I have an idea and I would like to use machine learning to do something, until the moment the solution is really live in operations and you have to report about it, we have been using our network to support all this life cycle. So the first step is the AI help desk we created. So we have experts from different legal entities from Telecom. You can submit your use case to them. They sit together and then discuss it. And then they allocate the use case to the resources who are available and who have the best capabilities to do this. And that is really regardless of the legal entity. So since there is no management involved, we just look at the skills, who can do this, who has time now, and then that legal entity gets the use case. We share references. So I work for the corporate IT, it's really internal. But we have many legal entities who work for external customers. So like T-Systems, they are building IT for companies. And obviously, they always need references. So if I build something for Deutsche Telekom internally, I can share that information with them, because then they go to Lufthansa, let's say, hey, this we're doing it inside, and that's a really good reference. Best practices as a general term. And this is also one of my favorites, to share results of POCs. I don't know how many POCs different departments of Deutsche Telekom did with IBM Watson to build the chatbot. I don't know the number, but I'm sure it's at least 20. And it's exactly the same thing. And that's only because people didn't know that the other department has also done the same POC 2 months ago. So this is what we try to do now, to share those learnings and experiences. We even try to share code and models. So let's say I trained a classifier for my use case, and someone is building a classifier. Just give him the model, and he trains it for his use case with his data. So this is absolutely possible. Data is a big topic, and it's a big pain, not only at Deutsche Telekom, but I guess everywhere. It's not so easy to share data, but we do share, and that is really important, is who is the data owner of what kind of data, which data lakes do we have, what kind of data is available in every data lake, and who you should talk to get the data. So it's just the network is growing, and having that network really helps speed up all this research phase. It's a huge company, and if just by yourself you don't know, you try just searching for a data owner, it might take you 3 months. And then the last part is getting approvals. So for me, at the corporate IT, let's say we are used to setting projects and new software solutions to life. So we know which process you have to go through. So through data security, compliance, to the social partners, workers' union, all this, you have, of course, to get approvals from all of them to set something live. But if you are from the finance department and you're not used to do these kind of projects, you don't know with how many hundreds of people you need to talk before setting the thing live. So having the people in the community also helps first understanding how the process is, and also, again, knowing who is responsible for what. So yes, after all organizations, no matter what kind of business they do, they all look like this. So you have the formal organigram, and then you have the special relationships between people. So the secret is always to find the common interest between people, and then put them together, and then you will get something great. So this helps, obviously, if not only for AI, I guess for everything, but for AI, my message would also be, if you're just starting doing AI, which I doubt if you're here, but still, you don't need to hire 20 super experts data scientists that nobody can afford nowadays anyway. Look for mathematicians and software developers in your company. I mean, especially in the insurance business, you have a lot of mathematicians. They are the guys you're looking for. So start with those. Ask them. They can get cheap training from Udacity and such, and then they can do some data science. And even if you have already started and you want to scale, again, don't rush and try to hire many people. Of course, hiring people helps, but it's difficult and expensive. So start with the people you have already on board, and when you ask those ones and you give them the opportunity to do something new, something everybody's talking about. So it's always cool. And we have witnessed this situation. So we're talking with, in those roadshows, some people come to us and say, oh, I've been doing the same job for the last 20 years, but I studied mathematics like 20 years ago, and do you think I could have a chance to start here? Of course. And they're so motivated. They're internally motivated. So it's really, you have passionate people wanting to do things and just supporting the projects, and they don't think about silos or permission or anything. It's just a lot of energy that you need to use to get the job done, and this is what we're doing, and it's a lot of fun. So thank you.